the air's nice. And let's risk it all on the paradise. But she just wanna make sure her hair's nice. That's fair, right? I just fell in love with a prima donna, the 2023 Madonna. I mean, Your Honor, I was minding my business until she gave me complete nirvana. Are you ready? Okay, say no more. Are you ready? Okay, say no more. She's a lotus and I'm the conductor of a magnum opus. Simply braggadocious. Why don't we take advantage of this moment? And wherever you own, we own it.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Arizona Cardinals and the Denver Broncos. And off we go from Denver. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. This is Gordon as they go to him again. The limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. Well, this defense for the Cardinals, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
There's a little bit of lightning talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Finding space at the 40. And get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally. Now Wilson. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge, maybe not counted on to be that.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And now off to the races, down the right side. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Phillips now from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Wilson. That's out to the flat for Gordon. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. 4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here's more on the return. On the return, picked up some good blocks as well. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. On play action, it's Murray. And that's going to be caught downfield by Brown. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Give him 32 on the play.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Justin Pugh, the left guard that time with a flag. Now Murray. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Murray's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback, running back, usually quarterback. A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration because the way the game is played in the NFL now, it's a pass-first league, right? So that means that people are going to adjust their defenses for him each and every week. And he's still putting up big-time numbers. I know the quarterbacks, the running backs get it, but he should be firmly in the race for MVP.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Touchdown! James Conner with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cardinals have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early and give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Phillips now from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. it's Wilson. He'll go up top here for Hamler. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Jalen Thompson picks it. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. Well, they were obviously backed up. Had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still trying to throw it. And
yeah, exactly. This is where hindsight is 20/20 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there. Maybe you'll surprise him and catch him off guard. Instead, you've created a turnover, put your defense in a bad spot.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now Murray, he bootlegs it. They'll roll him out right. And that is caught by Brown for a Cardinal touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Prater for the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
He'll go up top here for Hamler. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Returning it is Moore. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10 is Counter. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Now Murray off play action. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now, light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great...
And Hopkins has got it. Touchdown, Arizona. From 19 yards away. And the Cardinals continue to pull away here in this first half. Prater on to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Here's Corliss Waitman now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Going deep for Hopkins. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
Now Gordon on 1st down. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Jalen Thompson picks it. There he goes left side. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick 6, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the second quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression. My goodness, indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you've got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
Almost special! Almost special! Good job right there. Good job right there.
Wilson getting right back to it after the pick six. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number one. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Wilson. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
As we've seen, their first 2 drives didn't yield anything points-wise. Certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Play action. Now it's Murray. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Caden Stearns. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Cardinals are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that,
He's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down here at the 28.
When you think about this strong safety position, they're the more bulkier guys in the free safety, but that time great athleticism to hustle in and break up that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
To throw is Murray.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Pat Surtain.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. McManus's point after is good. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Murray trying again after the pick six. Sliding out of the pocket. Going deep for Hopkins. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Cards have taken a 5-touchdown lead.
Extra point good by Prater. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big 2nd half.
They go back to Gordon here on 1st down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson. Into the hands of Patrick left side. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down. 2nd down and 4. Play action. Now Wilson rolling to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that. And
Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. Fumbles are costly, but that one really hurts because he had the 1st down.
Yeah, that's all he needed, right? But the problem is we coach these guys to try and get more, but that doesn't count if you don't bring the ball with you, does it?
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From just shy of midfield, Murray going deep for Hopkins. This is caught inside the 15. A huge play there for Arizona. 41 yards.
The dynamic duo is doing damage in this one, and they've certainly been on point throughout. And they hook up again for another big play.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. To throw, it's Murray. Throw right side, complete to Williams. Touchdown, Cardinals. Max Williams from 8 yards out. And the Cardinals are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Prater for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Phillips now from the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Third and long, it's Wilson. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up fourth.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. With 2 remaining, we'll be back after this.
So that challenge, a successful one.
Now a toss coming wide side. This is Gordon.
Taken down at the 42.
And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Give them 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A big play there. 43 yards. And the Broncos get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start with a give to counter. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
From the 29, Murray forced out to his left. Going deep for Hopkins. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. I know this defense knew it coming into the game, Charles, and they know it even more now. DeAndre Hopkins is a tough cover.
And anytime you see him out there and there's less than double or triple teaming him, take a shot with it. Just what you're talking about. If he's such a tough cover, one guy's not going to get it done. Throw the ball out there. Let him go get it.
Extra point good by Prater. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
Phillips now from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here comes Hamler on the jet sweep. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Wilson. And he fires one, but incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Go, 14.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Mullen.
And the Cards are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Pat Surtain.
And the Broncos are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
A touchdown here on this drive. It wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one.
And my goodness, another interception.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
And the Cardinals will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Back to throw it. Murray. Going deep for Hopkins. That's caught inside the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, obviously, Charles, no more points were needed, but some teams just can't resist the urge to keep adding on, and they did just that here in the 4th quarter.
And we've certainly been on the call to see many teams do exactly that over the years, Brandon. Some to even more impressive degrees. In the end, it always goes back to there's still a defense out there, and it's still a game of NFL football. So if you don't like what's happening, it's up to you to get them stopped.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
Phillips now for the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Now Wilson on first down. And his throw is incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Wilson now off the bootleg. This will be caught just inside the 10. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Now Wilson. And it's caught. A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's third and goal. One last shot for Wilson. And this is going to be caught. So an offensive final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, you really got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for the Cardinals, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they will head home next.
I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. I pull the